Hello, you're welcome to our broadcast today. This is Family Aspect, and today I want to share something very important with you regarding a question. Here's a question here I want to talk about. I want to actually um, contribute my side of view on this question. And the question is, my wife feels mentally and physically drained by our children. What can we do? Now, this is a family that has probably a minimum of 4 kids, and the wife is mentally and physically drained just by the children alone, taking care of the children alone. And this is a common situation that comes along with young moms, young mothers. A lot of young mothers face this problem a lot, and by the end of the day, you see, they don't feel they have anything left for their husband or other things to do, so they are drained out from morning till evening. They do all of the things that the kids need, take care of the kids, and they are emotionally drained, they are physically drained, and this has been going on in the lives of this family, and is asking, what can they do to resolve this, because it's as though it's not stopping, it's not ending. And we can all agree that this also affects many families. Many married wives are going through this right now as we speak, and many of them don't know what to do, and their husband is not even helping. You see, that's the major thing. The husband is not helping out in resolving this situation. So every day they are drained. Every day, either they are spiritually drained, emotionally drained, or physically drained. Every day it happens to them as a result of taking care of the children. So what can they do? What they said, what can we do? So here's what I think can be done. And as my wife is really busy at the moment, she would have joined me on this particular discussion. And we have 2 kids, and we have 2 boys, and my eldest boy right now is 7 years old, and my younger boy is about 5 years old now. So I can talk to you concerning that. I can talk to you. I believe we've gained the experience in such regard to talk to you on what to do. A kind of advice that will work. You see, it works for us. It should work for you if you apply them. Now, I will first of all address the wives. Here's a tip for you if you are listening to this as a wife. First, set aside time that you need to spend with your husband to develop your marriage, because you see, it is your marriage first before the kids. If your marriage was not there won't be the kids. So ensure that your priority is set right. It's so important, because I've seen so many relationships, so many marriages that have actually put the children as the top priority over their husband. Many women have done that. They put their children as a top priority over their husbands, and that becomes a very dangerous step or dangerous thing to do, and that affects the marriage in the long run. But here you have to set out time. Set out time that you need to spend with your husband. It's so important. Okay, it's so important that you set out time that you need to spend with your husband to develop your marriage. You need to think about your marriage surviving, your marriage thriving, your marriage standing strong and successful, irrespective of the children's demands. Okay, now ask yourself if you want to improve your sexual relationship with your husband, because that is the key. That is the key here. Now, first, you may say, well, you're too tired to get those things done. We'll come to that in a moment. We'll address what men should do. We will talk about the tips I'm a husband, so I can tell you something about that. Don't worry, just hold on. First, you need to set aside time to spend with your husband to develop. You see, don't get too busy to allow that marriage, your marriage, to develop. You need to improve it. And one of the key things that improve our marriages today is our sexual relationship with our spouses. It's so important. Our intimate relationship with our spouses. Now, this requires time. Okay? You need to set out time to do this. You have to plan to do this. All right? Now, secondly, make sure you are getting the physical and spiritual rest that you need. You got to make sure. I'm talking to the wives right now. You have to make sure that you're getting the rest that you need. You say, well, that's the problem. I'm not getting the rest that I need. There's no time to rest. Calm down, relax. I have some more to share with you. This will help. Okay, don't just run off now. Just listen to the end of this video and you'll get exactly what I'm trying to say. Now, I said, secondly, make sure you're getting some physical and spiritual rest that you need. You need the rest. You need to get some rest. All right? Take a nap in the afternoon if you can. If it is necessary. If you can make time in the afternoon to take a rest. I know some of you may be working or probably you're not. When the children are off school or they are gone to school in the afternoon, take a nap between 2 and 3. You say, well, I mean, between 12, 1, 2, depending on the time that you have, take a nap. If it is just 1 hour, 2 hours, you can take a nap. You really need to rest. I'm talking to the wife right now. You really need to rest. Otherwise, you remain drained. You completely be like that. And it gets worse over the time. So take it. Take advantage of weekends to catch up on sleep. You need to sleep. You need to get some time to rest. It's very important you do. Now, that is the tip I would like to give to the wife. First, set out time to spend with your husband to develop your marriage. You don't want that. You don't want your marriage to suffer. Now, because what I'm talking about today have led to a lot of separation in marriages. Husbands have run away from their wife and children and run after other women because of this. So ensure you don't lose your marriage as a result of this situation of your children so demanding and you're trying to take care of them. Now, to the husbands, here is what you should do. If you want to save your marriage and if you love your wife, really, if you care about her, if you love her, this is what you should do. First, reaffirm your commitment to your wife. Many husbands have failed to recognize that they have so much commitment to their wives. You need to reaffirm to yourself your commitment to your wife. You see, make sure she knows. Make sure she knows your commitment. And also make sure she knows that you are her top priorities. Again, without you being the husband and wife together, there won't be children in the first place. I want you to understand that. So make sure that she knows that you are committed and prove it. It is not just saying, I'm committed to you, you know I love you, you know I care about you, without proving it. And how do you prove it to women? It is not by sex. No, it is not by just intimacy. You don't prove that you're committed to your wife by intimacy. No, you prove that you love your wife through affections. Affections. You see, affections. We are talking about actions that brings effect. That is affection. Affections are actions that brings effect to your wife. That brings effects. These are affections. And not only, secondly, you have to now, to do this, you have to demonstrate your commitment. That's what it means. That's where affection comes in. By demonstrating your commitment. And what is that? You're seeking to understand her emotion. That's the first rule. As a husband, seek to understand your wife's emotion. Seek to understand her spiritually. Seek to understand her physically. Understand her needs, her spiritual needs, her physical needs, her emotional needs. You need to have an understanding of these things to be able to help her out. This is your role as a husband. Now, remember, your wife longs for a real intimacy with you. Your wife wants a real intimacy with you. Don't forget that, just as much as you want it. But as a husband, make a great effort to help. You see, make a great effort to help your wife out around the house chores. It's so important. Help your wife out around the house. Help her out. Do things to help her. Help her in the kitchen work, to take care of the dishes. You can. Husbands don't do this. That's the problem. Many husbands, actually not all of them, 80% of husbands don't do this, and that is the problem. It's a problem. You have to help your wife clean the kitchens, clean the house, do the laundries. She's not your slave, she's your spouse. She is not your slave, she's your friend. She's your lover, she's your helper. You need to help her too. Every helper needs help. Don't forget that. Every helper needs help. We all need help. Every one of us, every human being needs help. You see, you got to understand this. Only God that doesn't need your help, because He's the one that originates helps in the first place. He have everything in place. But you see, when it comes to your wife, she needs your help. She needs you to help her. You need to help her to clean the kitchens and put the kids to bed. Many husbands don't do this. I started doing this right from our first child. Even before we had our first child, I started helping out with my wife in the kitchen work, in the cleaning of the houses. It wasn't easy in the first place. She was asking for it in the first place. I was reluctant, but when I began to improve and develop myself, I discovered this is necessary. This is something I can help. I began to study our emotions. I began to study our feelings. I began to understand this is what she needs. And I have the obligation to meet her needs. And I began to support her. And this is the way husbands should behave. Help her out. Help her out. Listen, I think it is total disservice. It is total disservice and marital abuse not to help her out in every chores of the house with the kids and still expect her to meet your sexual needs. It is an abuse. I see it as a marital abuse. Trust me. I see it as a marital abuse. At the end of the day, she is there doing all the work, doing all the busy thing. She's tired, and you come in right from work or something, or wherever you've been, and then you want her to meet your sexual needs, even with all of those weariness. That is an abuse. To me, I see it as an abuse. To me, I see it as a disservice. I don't know what you think, but that's my opinion. I believe this is helpful. So if you do this, you may be saving your marriage. Thank you for watching, and I believe you'll be following us. Please, if you're watching this video, like it. If you like it, wonderful. We want you to comment as well if you have any questions, and please subscribe to our channel. Until I see you again with another important question like this, remain blessed. Bye-bye.